Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for joining the first annual general meeting of Atlantic Edge Credit Union. We're just going to pause for a moment or two and let the attendees come in. And as more people start to join the meeting, just give us a couple of minutes and we'll get going. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us this evening. Well, we're getting up around almost 90 attendees now, so I think it's probably time to start the proceedings. So I will pass it over to Dan Sheets to call the meeting to order.
Thank you, Candice. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Sheets, and I am president of Atlantic Edge Credit Union's Board of Directors. I would like to officially call this meeting of our members to order. Our first order of business is our land acknowledgement statement. Today, we are meeting virtually from many communities throughout Newfoundland and Labrador. Our members from the island are working from the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk peoples, and our participants from Labrador are from the lands of the original peoples of Labrador, the Innu and the Inuit. We offer our respects to all our Indigenous cultures and recognize their continuing connection to the land. I would like to welcome everyone to the 2023 Atlantic Edge Credit Union Annual General Meeting. The meeting is being recorded, so anyone who is unable to join us live this evening can view the meeting when recording is posted to our website in the next few days. Today's meetings will reference our annual report, audited financial statements, which are linked in the annual report, and the minutes from all last year's AGMs. This information was emailed to each of you directly and can also be found on our website. I would like to take this moment to welcome our directors and special guests this evening. The board of directors have joined the meetings as have our members. The board of directors, apart from me as president, are, and if you don't mind, ladies and gentlemen, just turn your camera on when I say your name. Bert Belbin, vice president.
Dan, I don't believe they're able to turn on their camera.
Aren't they? Okay, okay, sorry.
I apologize for that.
Okay, apologies. Dave Evans, secretary. Tony Lehman, chair of our governance committee. Brad Hancock, chair of the audit committee. Ginger Ryland, director. Jeff Patry, chair of the community impact committee. Gary O'Brien, director. Edwina Bateman, director. Brad Shepard, director. Janet Willis, director, and Terry Gilbert, director. We have a few special guests joining us tonight by invitation. We have Colin Lewis from Concentra, Greg McPhee from Cumis, Al Spencer from our Deposit Guarantee Corporation, and Brian Sparks also from our Deposit Guarantee Corporation. Thank you for attending our annual meeting. We appreciate your support. At this time, I will pass it over to Candice Matthews, Manager of Member Experience and Communications, to review a few housekeeping items before we carry on. Candice?
Thank you so much, Dan. I'm pleased to act as moderator for our AGM this evening. I will take a few minutes to go over some housekeeping items with you. You will note that your microphone and video are disabled. Communications of questions or comments relating to motions will be done through the Q&A function. We have some speakers who will be providing reports this evening. If you have any questions relating to their reports, please enter them in the Q&A during their report, and they will answer once they have finished speaking. We will also call for questions following the reports, and you can raise your hand at that time if you wish to be unmuted to ask a question, or you can type your question in the Q&A. If you have any questions not relating to the reports, there will be time provided during the new business and special meeting portions later this evening for general or additional questions. And again, you can simply type your questions into the Q&A at that time or raise your hand if you wish to be unmuted. Please also note that our annual report can be accessed on our website at www.atlanticedgecu.ca. A copy was also emailed to each registrant before the meeting this evening. This meeting will be recorded and will be available to view online in the coming days. For technical support during this call, please utilize the Zoom Help Center available online. As I noted, the raise hand function is there. Should you wish to be unmuted, you can simply click on this, and this is a toggle on and off. So we will see when your hand is raised, and we can call on you, unmute you, and you can ask your question. If referenced the Q&A function, this is where all of your questions will be posted, and Kirsty will be monitoring this area to ensure that each question is noted and brought forward to be addressed by Dan or Corey. The chat function here we will review in just a moment. During this meeting, the motions shown on your screen will be presented. When a motion is requested, we will ask for a mover and a seconder. If you wish to move or second the motion, please type "I move" or "I second" in the chat function and then click send. Once moved and seconded, we will ask if there is any discussion. If there are any questions or comments during the motion, simply click on the Q&A button, enter your comment or question, and click send. Our second moderator, Christy, will read your questions or comments, which will then be addressed by the chair. At the end of the discussion, the method of voting will be by digital poll, with regular motions requiring a straight majority approval. A poll will appear on your screen, and you can select the appropriate response in favor or opposed and select submit. Results will be displayed on your screen once the votes have been cast. For the motion on the special resolution relating to the amalgamation of Atlantic Edge, Eastern Edge, and Hamilton Sound credit unions, we will request a mover and a seconder before moving to discussion on the resolution, but we will not call for the question at the end of the discussion. Instead, voting on the special resolution will open at the end of this meeting and will close at 12:00 noon on Friday, May 19th. To vote, you can go to our website at bettervalueforall.ca or get the information you need to cast your vote online, cast your online ballot. As a special resolution, a 2/3 majority is required for the motion to pass. Voting results will be declared on May 19th. Voting will be conducted electronically via a platform called Q's eVote, which has been used in past board of directors elections, as well as our previous merger. Q's processes and tabulates all electronic ballots, and the results are confirmed by their election manager. Voter information is used exclusively by Q's, and independent vendors are utilized by Q's to administer the vote. Voter information is not used for any other purpose or distributed to any other parties and is destroyed 60 days following the close of the vote. Finally, I would like to note that the meeting this evening will follow Robert's Rules of Order. I will now pass it back to our president, Dan Sheaves, for a declaration of quorum. Dan?
Thank you, Candace. Our bylaws require 20 members, excluding staff and board, in attendance to constitute a quorum for tonight's meeting. I now turn it over to Jessica Sellers, Marketing Specialist, for the declaration of a quorum. Jessica will provide the declaration of quorum based upon the verification of our attendees. Jessica.
Thank you, Dan. I just need 1 second to tally up the total, so I'll just be right with you. 1 second.
As Jessica tallies up the total, I will note that we're at 99 attendees, and this is excellent turnout. But part of what goes into the establishment of the quorum is verifying that each attendee that logs on of what percentage is a voting a shareholder eligible to establish the quorum for the credit union. So we can understand that this certainly can take a few moments of time. So thanks for your patience.
We need to make sure we do this right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corey, perhaps this is the part where we did the aforementioned request for a song and dance. This was the entertainment.
Thanks everyone for your patience. So at the time of calculation, yep, okay. Thanks everyone for your patience. Sorry about that. So, Mr. President, of the 99 people in attendance, 48 are eligible shareholders excluding staff and board. I declare we have a quorum.
Thank you very much, Jessica. Pursuant to section 1105 of our bylaws, the meeting is duly constituted. Our next order of business is our agenda. I think the agenda is on the screen. Yes. I would like to call for a motion and a seconder to approve the agenda. I think we have,
Moved by Jamie Pye, seconded by Janet Willis.
thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? You can type the, if there are any discussion comments, you can put it in the Q&A section. Hearing none, all those in favor?
I have launched the poll, so you should be able to vote on your screen. Excellent.
And the poll is closed and looks like we have 100% in favor of the agenda. Thank you very much. Our next order of business is the minutes from our Legacy Credit Union's annual general meeting, 2022 AGM of Eagle River and the 2022 AGM of Leading Edge Credit Union. The the minutes were in your package, I guess, or in the in the package. So I'll call for a mover and a seconder to approve these.
So moved by Jeff Patry, seconded by Randy Alexander.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Again, in the Q&A section. Hearing none, I'll call the question. And again, we have 100% in favor. Motion is carried. Is there any business arising from either one of the minutes from the 2022 AGM? Hearing none, we'll proceed to the next item. The president's report was provided in your package as well. I'm not going to read the president report, but I just highlight a couple of key items. Again, 2022 was the first year of the merged credit union, was very successful. Corey will elaborate on this more later, but I think it was a profit after tax of $1.8 million, which is very good for a small credit union in rural Newfoundland and Labrador on the West Coast. Again, our combined asset size right now is $335 million, which again is a great growth for the last year. Been a great merger so far. Again, rising interest rates have been a challenge for all of us, I assume, or any of us who have mortgages and loans out. But I think again, Corey and his team have certainly helped our members manage their way through that process. So hopefully the inflationary pressures are behind us and the interest rates have peaked, or that's so it seemed anyway, and things will start to see a little decline over the next 12 to 24 months. We've had 25 new hires in 2022, which is one of the things we committed to in our business plan when we started the merger discussions with Eagle River and Leading Edge. No job losses. There have been some labor shortages in some of the branches, and Corey and his team are continuing to try to work their way through that. We have had some challenges in some locations, but that is not uncommon. I think every corporation in the country is probably dealing with those types of issues. So in 2024, we're also rolling out a new banking platform. I think we're sometime in May of 2024. Again, this is a requirement because of the new security requirements, and our legacy system is on its last legs, I think. So given the new challenges around security and cyber threats, we're moving to a new platform, and you'll see some benefits. I guess the membership will see some definite benefits of that new platform starting middle of next year. So. And final item, I guess, in 2022, we did start merger talks with another couple of credit unions, Hamilton Sound Credit Union out of Central and Eastern Edge Credit Union out of the Avalon. So we're looking at completing that merger and a January 1st amalgamation. Personally, I would like to thank Corey and his team for all of their efforts over the year. It's been a challenging year, given everything that's with the merger and the new banking platform and the upcoming merger. It's been a tough year on Corey and his staff, and again, they've performed beyond expectations as always. So I'd also like to thank our board members. With the merger again in flight and a new merger, I guess, in the wings, we've had what started as one meeting a month for 10 months has turned into 2, 3, 4 meetings at times per month. So it's been a challenging year for those of us who were involved in it. And we do have 2 members of the Atlantic Edge board that are departing after tonight's meeting. That's Edwina Bateman and Brad Hancock. Again, they've with the merger, assuming the merger goes through, we will have reducing down to 10 board members, and they've found other things. I guess I know Edwina in particular has got some business challenges that she's facing, so she's decided to move on. And I think Brad is in Ontario, so it's just a challenge for him as well. So I'd like to thank you guys very, very much for your service for the last number of years, but particularly for Brad on Eagle River and Edwina on Leading Edge. So thank you guys very, very much. Questions, comments? I see 12 items in the chat, but they're probably not related to my presentation.
No, we had one particular member that said they're thankful to see the security improvements, which is great.
That's great to hear. It's going to be challenging switching over to, I guess we've already seen some of it with the unique or the additional requirements around our access codes. But again, it is in the best interest of every member here, and you know, we're continuing to move forward to try to make sure that we protect our members and their financial assets as we move forward.
And Dan, we do have one person who's raised their hand, so I'm going to allow Christopher Elford to speak. Christopher, if you would like to come off mute, you can go ahead with your question.
I'm currently going through a financial loss of my house due to Hurricane Fiona, and I'm just wondering, this might be a bit off topic, but I was just wondering if there's any hope or any way that there might be any help to be given to some people and to be done about people that have not received no financial assistance.
I can start with that, and Corey, I don't know if you want to weigh in, but I mean, operationally, I know the credit union has provided some support. I don't know if it's financial in nature, and there were a few programs around DFAA. Other than that, I'm not aware of anything we're doing I guess, in that vein. But again, it's not really probably the appropriate forum for it. It's more specific. If you've got specific financial issues that the credit union can help you with, either with deferring payments or something of that nature, we can again, Corey and his team can certainly entertain that request. But other than that, there's not really it's not really a board issue, I guess, or a issue for the AGM. Not sure if that answered your question, but
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks.
thank you very much. I guess the next order of business is the CEO report, I believe.
Well, we're going to launch the poll.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yes, I missed my place here. The question took me off guard. Can I get a motion and a seconder to approve the president's report as presented?
Moved by Edwina. Seconded by Jamie Pye. Sorry, Edwina Bateman and Jamie Pye.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. And again, we have 100% in favor, so the report is approved. Now I think we turn it over to Corey for the CEO report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I guess just prior to starting, back to Christopher's question, the Fiona event and the Port aux Basques and the coastal communities that were impacted was quite an event. I'm pleased to say that our credit union came to the table and helped those members that approached us that found themselves in situations of housing, and we had deferred payments. We've also worked with many people to purchase a home or prior to any funding coming through. So as the chair alluded to, Chris, I'd encourage you to reach out to the branch to see if there's any further activity that we'll be doing as a part of the Fiona response. We've also engaged heavily with the municipality when it came time to establish a fund, a donation fund that people wanted to utilize. So we worked hard with them to make that happen. So yeah, it's a very unfortunate situation that happened in our communities, and we were certainly out the gates quick, helping our first responders with coffee and everything else. And most recently, I should acknowledge too that we provided, or we have not yet provided to all of the mayors of the municipalities that were impacted, but we have so far met with a few, and we provided them a recognition, recognition plaque from our credit union, thanking them for the great service that they've done during that event. So just wanted to throw in a few extra points there. So moving right along into the CEO report, it was only less than 2 years away when we were approaching our membership, asking them to trust in us, that they recommending a merger of Leading Edge Credit Union and Eagle River Credit Union. At that time, we kind of made a commitment that the new credit union would do more for stakeholders, and it would ensure our local based banking options, which is what our members hold really true to their heart, and would stay intact, and that we would remain a competitive organization and an accessible choice for our members. And we would certainly continue our unique differentiator, which is the way that we participate in the communities that we serve. So that was a commitment that our board had made when we approached our membership, to acknowledge them and say, we think that this merger is a good fit. Next slide. So leaving that, once the membership approved that and then moved into 2022, we put in place a very robust business plan to bring the two entities together and to bring additional value to our shareholders. Both credit unions were very strong at the time, bringing a lot of value, but we saw that through combined effort and resource and the creation of Atlantic Edge Credit Union, we could bring a lot more to the table. And so we put in 5 strategic areas of focus, for 2022. We wanted to develop a strong governance model. We wanted to make sure we had a professional team, continue to build on that and be financially sustainable, have a strong product and service offering, and a strong community impact focus. So I'm going to just take you through a few slides to talk about and highlight some of the areas in which we hopefully have demonstrated to you as our shareholders the value proposition of each of these areas. So in 2022 was a very busy year on a governance side. Our board of directors were very busy, as you can see. We held over 41 meetings in 2022, as you can see the respective different committee meetings that were struck. A lot of the work was put into establishing a new operational and board policy. Obviously, is critically important that we define policies and procedures for our new entity, the Atlantic Edge Credit Union, in which to guide our decision making. So, you know, it was a very busy time, and the board and operational team that were responsible for getting us to this leg had in its mind that we wanted to make sure that we took the best of both previous entities and brought them forth to make sure that we had a very, again, robust operational policy procedures. Moving on to the professional team, this is probably one of the slides that I'm very proud of. We took the opportunity to redesign an org chart for the new entity, capitalizing on creating departments within our organizational structure. And this include, you know, specialist and core operational areas that are necessary for financial services operations in today's marketplace. You know, we were able to invest in departments such as information technology, human resources, accounting, risk, commercial lending, retail lending. So now we have, you know, core people, resources within these departments that we're able to assist and service our membership. Another, I think, really important note is we carried on with the continuation of former Eagle River had, which was a decentralized corporate structure. And what this simply means is that employees could live in the communities in which they are either their hometown or where they reside now and continue to work with a corporate office. Leading Edge had a different model. They had a corporate office structure in one community. But Eagle River had a decentralized, and we stuck with that model, and has worked out very well for us. So that means that we can have people like Lucinda and Amanda working in Lansaloo for a corporate office team, as well as Sandra out in Mary's Harbor. It's boasted very well for us, and it allows all of our staff the opportunity to avail of any corporate office positions. In 2022, I'm pleased to say that we also had 8 staff that were promoted. We had 3 casual employees become full-time, 2 contractual employees become full-time, and 2 students were hired as a part of our commitment to give our youth an opportunity for valuable work placement in the communities in which we serve. And we hopefully will expand on that as we move forward. I think this year we've expanded, I think, to 3 or 4 students within our organization. So this is a very valuable exercise for us. The commitment of training and development of our people was something that we placed a lot of time and attention. We completed a people leaders forum where all people leaders, our management team, came together for a combination of training and development and to assist in our strategic planning of our organization. That went over extremely well. Employees continue to embrace training themselves. With an outstanding completion, as you see on the screen, of 720 courses completed in 2022. I mean, that is just unbelievable. Leveraging a weekly staff meeting practice from our former Eagle River Credit Union, Atlantic Edge Credit Union adopted this practice and also completed 47 staff meetings on various ranges of topics such as product knowledge, risk and compliance, member service, and general updates, and oftentimes we've had a few guest speakers, and we are joined tonight with Barry Griffiths from oh my gosh, Barry. Grant Thornton, who has brought some of his team members in to speak to our team as well. So just as an example of some of the great things that are talked about at these sessions. Employee job profiles were also reviewed and modified, and this exercise involved all staff as well in their participation. And we've also completed 2 staff surveys throughout the year to check in with how our staff felt that we were doing in related to the merger, if our culture was meshing and mending well. And we also look for areas of improvements in which we could look to see if, we had to ramp up communications, etc. So I must say that was a really rewarding and worthwhile exercise. So overall, we've invested quite a bit of time in our professional team, and it certainly showcases. Moving forward, financially sustainable. A financially strong organization is certainly required if investments into our branch lines are going to be active. We can't do such thing as be, our social mandate if we don't have the financial whereabouts to complete those. So the merger enhanced our ability to participate firstly in syndicated lending. This allows our credit union to take on larger financial interest in large commercial deals. And this business brings solid returns back to our credit union in large commercial deals. It really enhances our bottom line when we can take part in these large exercises. It also exposes us to larger entities within our own region and allows us to entertain those deals. We've participated in deals that are, well over $24 million, hotel deals, etc. So again, as you can appreciate, being a larger entity means that we're able to bring more to the table. We've also we're also now able to provide through our 11 branch network a high ratio mortgages. This is the ability to now offer our membership the ability to take a mortgage out with as little as 5% down. And this is really appealing to our younger members who are looking for their first home purchase. So this was a great addition, and also it helped grow our mortgage portfolio. Also, through very prudent financial management, the merger has allowed our team to leverage the unique balance sheets of their former credit unions under one umbrella. So we've been able to utilize the strong lending demand on some branches, as well as utilize the surplus cash we have in other branches and bring those together to maximize returns. And that has really assisted us. You heard our chair mention before that we ended the year with 1.8 million net income, which is a significant return for a credit union of $350 million. We've also had $5.5 million mortgage growth. And this evening, you'll see a motion come forward to the membership asking if they would approve a dividend this evening of $392,085. So overall, a very strong financial fiscal year for Atlantic Edge Credit Union in its first year of operation. Recognizing that both former credit unions had similar but different products and services, the team committed to bringing forth to members the best and most competitive products and services. A new checking and savings account suite was designed, and the team also wanted to ensure simplicity was the key focus for the members. While the banking industry offers multiple and sometimes confusing choices, our team designed a simplified and competitive checking and savings account. Lending products were next and on the design team schedule. And again, when they were reviewed to make sure that we had a solid suite to offer our membership, we wanted to make sure we took the best lending and most innovative lending products and brought them forward to our membership. I should also add that in the creation and development of our fees and interest rate schedule, we monitored that weekly, sometimes daily, to ensure that we are coming to the table with very competitive interest rates and fees. And again, we're able to sharpen the pencil on that because of our financial performance and the new size of our entity. We're also very pleased with the launch of the Debit MasterCard product. And this product allows members to use a MasterCard-enabled card to use funds in their checking account without having to ascertain credit. This is a great product for online shopping or completing transactions where a credit card is required. And as many of you longer term members might recall, we used to have such a product before called the Global Payment Card. And when we switched banking credit card providers, that card was lost for a period of about 2.5 years. So we were delighted to see that come back. And now it's being, the uptake on that is going very well. And to measure how our members feel about the service they received in 2022, late in the year, we completed a member survey. And if any of you completed that survey, I certainly would like to take the time to thank you for that. It's very important we get your feedback so we can learn to see what we're doing right, as well as where we need to improve. And so just a few stats, because the report is extensive. We had 86% of our members reported that they are confident that Atlantic Edge Credit Union can meet their future financial needs. And we also had a 91.3% member satisfaction rating. So that's really good results, especially after the first year of the merged entity, where we did bring some minor changes to our membership that they may have experienced when it came to the merger. So we were great and very pleased with those statistics. Another significant slide that I'm very proud of is this particular one around our community impact. You know, both former credit unions shared a similar commitment to the communities in which they serve. Both had some very unique initiatives in how they delivered value to our local communities. The team tasked with bringing to addressing the community impact and what that would look like for Atlantic Edge Credit Union. They collaborated on bringing all of these initiatives to Atlantic Edge Credit Union and expanding them in the 11 branch network. And for example, the Warm Coats for Kids is a testament to this exercise, as this program, it was expanded into 2022 to all 11 locations, and 305 coats were delivered to kids in the communities in which we serve. So I think that's certainly a testament of how we were able to leverage what worked well in one credit union and endorse it as a new entity. I don't have the time this evening to get into all of the great things that we've done, but just on the next slide, you could see a snippet of the that came out of our annual report, which you could find on our webpage, and hopefully you've had time to review it. If you go to our webpage and you look at the section that says about us, and then you go into annual returns, you could bring it up. That you'll see some content in there around the work that we do in the community, in which we try and enhance the area in which we live. And I just want to take a moment to thank the employees for driving many of these initiatives. The Community Enhancement Fund, for example, is an activity that's completed by staff and is supported by you, our members, by purchasing, you may have seen, you know, chocolate bars or different things, which we're asking for your support. So your generosity has allowed us to raise funds for such important causes, such as Warm Coats for Kids, the Kids Eat Smart Foundation, and the local food banks. And as you can see, I mean, $67,816 was raised in 2022. Again, you know, you could look at the slide yourself, you could pick it out, you could see the amount of time and effort that went into this. But just one other stat that I would like to highlight is recognize the amount of volunteer time that our team has committed to different organizations. So over 1,826 hours, volunteer hours, have been made through our personal and work supported time from our staff. And I think this is an incredible achievement. It demonstrates that our staff have the shared values with that of the credit union, and that is a community focus. And we'll continue to ensure that we recruit individuals that see the community and participating in the community as a critical piece in their values. So just wanted to make those couple points. So, Mr. President, that is the CEO's report, and I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Corey. Can I get a motion to adopt Corey's report, the mover and the seconder? Gary moved.
Gary O'Brien. Seconded by Tracy Keeping.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. The motion is carried with 100% in favor. Thank you very much. Now, Corey, I think you have some staff recognition awards that you're speaking to.
Yes. The first slide is years of service. So this slide just recognizes the tenure of our staff and board, I should mention as well. We'd like to recognize Dina Edison for 5-year service, as well as Lucinda Lee. Under our 10-year banner, we have Bruce Sams, Dale Lohman, Kelly Thorne, Michelle McLean, Mindy Gillingham, and yours truly, Brad Shippard. I thought I was going to say Brad Hancock. Brad Shippard is a director for 10 years of service. So congratulations to those. Oh, there's more. I remember now. On the next slide, we also have 15 years of service. Geneva Taylor and Jody King. And we also have 2 more categories, 20-year service. Bernadette Normore. Bernadette has retired in 2022, as well as Terry Hardy retired as well. We were glad that after 20 years of service. And David Evans as a director with 20-year service. And I guess for 30-year service, Don Ryder, who will get the triple layer cake, has put in over 30 years within the credit union system. So congratulations to you all for these just wonderful milestone and achievements, and we thank you for your service. So we also have some special recognitions that we like to recognize. So we have an individual community impact award, and this is awarded to an employee with the highest recorded hours for community impact work. And we do this, we track this this data through a program called Do Some Good. It's an online and mobile app in which our staff uses. And I'm pleased to acknowledge that Jocelyn Butt at the St. George's branch is the recipient of that achievement award. She's anybody who knows Jocelyn in that community would recognize that she is certainly a part of their community wholeheartedly. From a branch perspective, which is awarded to the branch with the highest percentage of active employee volunteers. And I'm pleased to acknowledge that St. Anthony Branch's award, they have 100% of staff actively volunteering in that capacity. They had over 351 hours combined of volunteer hours in 2022. So congratulations, well deserved to that group. The under learning and development, we have a few awards. The CCUA Campus Achievement Award is awarded to the employee with the highest number of courses completed through the CCUA campus for the year. And this award goes to Thejo Jonathan, and he has over 12 courses. Now, I don't think that he's been with us very long for 12. So 12 courses is pretty impressive. I think less than 5 to 6 months, if my math is correctly. So excellent. Congratulations, Thejo. And our Skillsoft Achievement Award is awarded to the employee with the highest number of courses completed through the Skillsoft for the year. And this goes out to Charlotte Taylor. Hold on now, 73 courses Charlotte has completed in 2022. Tremendous achievement. So congratulations to you, Charlotte. Carrying on with the last few awards, we have a Cumis Annual Protection Award. This is awarded to an employee as the highest single premium net revenue for Cumis Insurance. This award encompasses the importance of member protection as well as revenue importance to the Atlantic Edge Credit Union membership. And this year's award recipient is Mary Jane Hudson Cabot from Goose Bay. Mary Jane, for those Goose Bay membership that are on the meeting tonight would all know Mary Jane. She's well known in our area. She is certainly a credit union rock star in her community. So congratulations, Mary Jane. The Burecon Cybersecurity Award is awarded to the employee with the best Burecon risk score, which includes factors such as cybersecurity awareness, exposures, incidents, and rewards. And this goes out to Sydney Perry. This is quite the achievement. And as someone indicated earlier on the chat about cybersecurity and the risk associated with it, rest assured that our team takes that very serious. We're consistently doing courses and training and development. But as you can see, Sydney Perry, congratulations to you. You've had the best score when it comes to this related activity. So congratulations. And our Co-op Superstar Award. This is awarded to an employee in recognition of their cooperative passion and for exceptional demonstration of the co-op principles and values. And this award is based on staff nominations. So congratulations to Jackie Rumbold. For those of you who know Jackie, I'm sure in your community, you're well aware of the activities and roles that they play. Just today, I seen on our shared team site, collecting recyclables and donating it to the recreation committee in that community. They're always baking or cooking or something up there and doing a wonderful job with it. So congratulations, well deserved Co-op Superstar Award, and that's quite the achievement. And when it gets into education courses, it's really important that we acknowledge those individuals that completed certain milestones when it comes to some of these course contents. And so some of these are in partnership with Dalhousie and University Credit Courses. So just want to quickly go through those. So our products and services course, Q185, we had Amanda Lee, Charlie Brake, and Colette Russell, Tracy Alexander, Jennifer Gale complete that. Congratulations. Our QIC 201, credit unions different by design. It basically talks about how credit unions are different and what the co-op model means. And Amanda Lee, see your name there again. Congratulations on completing that course. Consumer and residential mortgage lending. We had Tracy Alexander, Shauna Warren, Martina McDonald, Kara Gale, and Janet Elliott. That's a big course. So congratulations on doing that. We had Dina Edison complete her business lending certificate. Seen that most recently in our team's chat as well. QIC 34345. This is a significant course and milestone as well to be a commercial adjudicator. And QIC 350 commercial real estate lending. Geneva Taylor, our regional manager. Congratulations on achieving that milestone. So again, I'd like to thank everyone on the next slide for your contributions. And there's a good picture of many of our team there of doing what they do and always participating in our credit union events and very motivated and a pleasure to certainly work with. And as you can see, place a lot of attention in education, training, development, and looking after our members' best interests. So congratulations to you all.
Corey, before we move forward, I do notice that William Coates' hand is up, so I'm going to just allow him to ask a question.
I just want to acknowledge all the great work that you guys have been doing over the years and offer my congratulations on a fantastic year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm not going to call you William. You're known to me as Harry, and Harry has spent over 20 years in our board, and hearing his accolades is quite a compliment. So we will thank you for that, Mr. Coates.
I agree, Corey. I was going to ask for a virtual round of applause, but that pretty much does it. If you Harry's given his thumbs up. So that is a great accomplishment indeed. Thank you very much for that, Harry.
It was fairly difficult for me to call him William Coates as well. After that, Harry. I also do have John Healy with his hand up, so I'm going to allow John to speak. If you could unmute, John, if you'd like to speak.
Yes, I'd like to agree with Harry and give everybody the congratulations for the success that you guys have come up with over the last couple of years, and I hope we still keep going strong. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John.
Okay.
John, another former board member.
Another former board member, yes.
Yeah, we appreciate
Lots
that.
of years of experience, yes.
Yes.
And I just wanted to point everyone's attention to a chat function, and Mr. Robert Smith had made some comments there about cybersecurity and some courses that are fully funded. Find Your Future in Tech program with 3 levels of cybersecurity courses available free of charge for Newfoundland residents. So this could be very valuable for many of our attendees. So this is, thank you for sharing that, Mr. Smith.
Yes, thank you. No further comments. Moving on, now ask Bradley Hancock, to Chair of the Audit Committee, to deliver the auditor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. After reviewing both legacy credit union terms of reference, it was decided that the name of the committee would become the Audit Risk Conduct Review Committee. A new terms of reference was presented to the board and adopted in May of 2022. The committee met 6 times in 2022, consisting of 5 directors. All activities required within terms of reference were completed in 2022, and you can see a list of those in the larger report included in the package. The Audit Risk and Conduct Review Committee completed many tasks in 2022, as I just mentioned, including reviewing reports and preparing requests. As chairperson of the committee, I would like to thank the management and staff of Atlantic Edge Credit Union for their work they completed in this first year of operations. And as multiple people have said already, there was a lot of work done this year for sure with the new entity, and it was great to see that everybody worked so well together, and we had such a profitable and encouraging year, and we look forward to many more. As per Section 94 of the Credit Union Act, at the annual meeting of credit union and members, that the credit union shall appoint an auditor who is licensed as a public accountant under the Chartered Professional Accountants and Public Accountants Act. We are pleased to have Grant Thornton as our external auditor and look forward to working with him over the next 5 years.
Thank you very much, Brad. And I get a mover and a seconder to approve the auditor's report as presented.
So moved by Dwayne McCarthy,
Thank you, Dwayne.
seconded by April Dawn Pike.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Thank you very much. We have 100% in favor of approval. Thank you. Our next order of business is approval of the external auditor. I will ask Brad Hancock, Chair of the Audit Committee, to appoint Grant Thornton or successors as our external auditors for a 5-year term. I think Brad, you are typed I move in the chat. And a seconder, please.
Seconded by
Janet.
Janet Lewis.
Thank you, Janet. Any discussion on this motion? Hearing none, call the question. All those in favor? We have 99% approval and 1 opposed. Thank you very much. The motion is carried. And now I think we turn it over to Barry Griffin, is it, I think, for the financial report from Grant Thornton.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yep, Barry Griffiths here from Grant Thornton. And so I'm happy here to be here to present the results of the first year of the operation for Leading Edge and the merger of Leading Edge and Eagle River called Atlantic Edge. So up on the screen there is the results of the year for the year 2022. Just want to explain what the asterisk is about, and when you do, or if you do look at the audited statements, the comparative figures are for Leading Edge Credit Union, and that's really an IFRS or an international reporting standards requirement, where the comparative figure is the entity, a continuation of one of the credit unions that merged, and the other would be basically the results of it on the date of the amalgamation. So you'll see as I go through this, very difficult to do a comparison of, you have one credit union as your comparative and then two as really the results of the new entity. So I think what I'll do is just go through line by line and give some highlights of the year, which is a great year. Obviously, when you look at the screen, there's, you're practically doubling everything with a combination of two. But I had some time to sort of piece it together, which having a look at the comparative 2021 of Eagle River and Leading Edge, and just to give you a little commentary about that with regard to the results for 2022. So with that in mind, starting with, no, can we go back to the previous, please? Yeah, just talking about the financial margin was 9.9 million. If you do the combined results of Leading Edge and Eagle River for 2021, you had about 8.5 million. So that's about an increase of 1.4 million in financial margin. Financial margin being your interest on your member loans, your investment income, less any interest on your member deposits and dividends. So that's that number. So a significant increase. It's about a 16% increase overall. And then when you come down to something, the operating expenses, there, when you look on the screen, it's up substantially. But of course, you've got 2021 being the one credit union. But when you factor in both credit unions for 2021, Leading Edge combined operating expenses along with Eagle River, it was 10.7 million. So that's an increase of about $340,000 or roughly around 3%. So pretty good leverage there. Looking at income taxes, that's up substantially. I'll just explain quickly that as more profits are coming into the credit union, you're utilizing the small business rate of 12%, a little less, because you're making more profits. So you can only basically 12% of the first 500 is your effective rate, but after that it moves up to 30%. So on a weighted average percentage, your effective income tax rate is going to go up, and that's why you're seeing an increase there with regard to that. So overall, at 1 point, like Corey talked about earlier, a 1.8 net income result, which is quite good. Okay, we can move on to the next slide. So again, when you look at the audited statements, you're looking at the balance sheet financial position of one credit union being the leading edge compared to obviously the combined result of Atlantic Edge moving into 2022. So you look at it from this perspective, then you got roughly more than double in assets and more than double in liabilities. But just to focus your attention on the members' equity, that piece of it has gone up substantially, and that it's essentially gone up due to the contributed surplus, which really is that amount coming in at the date of amalgamation, again, due to a standard requirement under accounting rules, essentially, where Eagle River came into Atlantic Edge on the January 1st amalgamation date, and that was assessed as the fair value of all those assets and liabilities at that point. So that's what that particular line is. Moving on to the next slide. This really just summarizes the cash flows of the year. So essentially, from operating, that's your net income and all your adjustments for working capital and such, and any non-cash transactions that would impact your net income. That would be operating. So that's $2 million in the year. Financing increases or decrease would really be your increase or decrease in your member deposits and equity. So you had an outflow of that of $8.2 million. And investing, that would be a combination. These are all net numbers. There's other things in here besides that. But on investing, it would be your investment income as well as your investment in member loans. That's what that figure would be. So overall, on a combined basis throughout the year from January 1st to December 31st, we saw a decrease in cash of $300,000. Again, that's only one line on your balance sheet. That's your reconciliation of your cash. And it went down by $300,000. That's purely just cash movement between operating, financing, and investing. That's really all I think I had to say. If there's any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Barry. I'll ask now for a motion to approve the financial statements by indicating a mover and a seconder in the chat function.
So moved by
Gary
Gary O'Brien and seconded by Tracy Keeping.
Thank you very much. Any discussion on the motion? Any questions for Barry on the financial statements?
We do have one hand up, so I will ask Elsie Barney. I'll unmute you and you can, oh, no, I'm so sorry. The hand disappeared. Sorry about that. So I will launch the poll.
Thank you very much. And we have 100% in favor of approval of the financial statements. Thank you very much, folks. The next item on our agenda is item 9, new business. We've got a couple of items. The first is the dividend and patronage. I am pleased to make a recommendation on the distribution of $392,085 in the form of a dividend patronage refund to the membership. I would now ask for a mover and seconder to put that motion forward.
So moved by Jamie Pye. And seconded by, let's get moving, Tracy Keeping.
Thank you very much. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All those in favor? And 100% in favor again. Thank you very much. Motion is carried. Our next order of business is a special resolution. Whereas the Board of Directors of Atlantic Edge Credit Union Limited recommends to the members that the credit union amalgamate with Eastern Edge Credit Union Limited and Hamilton Sound Credit Union Limited in accordance with the Credit Union Act 2009 and the proposed amalgamation agreement. Whereas the members of the credit union approve the board's recommendation, and whereas approval of the recommendation for the amalgamation must be passed by the members by way of a special resolution as defined in the Act. Be it resolved that the credit union be amalgamated with Eastern Edge Credit Union Limited and Hamilton Sound Credit Union Limited in accordance with amalgamation agreement and bylaws as presented to the members with a notice of annual meeting of members dated May 15th, 2023. And further be it resolved that the board be and hereby authorized to do all things necessary or desirable to effect the amalgamation of the credit union pursuant to the provision of the Act and amalgamation agreement, including but not limited to complete any actions or undertakings within its jurisdiction and authority, including execution of any documents reasonably necessary for upholding its duties and responsibilities to the credit union, and to give effect to the amalgamation, and oversee the proper execution of a communications plan throughout the process, which includes effective delivery of information and documents in a timely manner, and make such incidental changes to the amalgamation agreement, articles of amalgamation, and or the bylaws as may be needed to ensure the approval of the Credit Union Deposit Guarantee Corporation prior to the proposed effective date of amalgamation of January 1st, 2024.
I think, Mr. President, I'll do a short presentation.
Yes, you can. Yes. Yep.
Talk about the amalgamation.
Yep.
Okay, so if you could just back up one slide there. Okay, great. Thank you. So as Dan had identified, this evening on our new business, we're bringing forth a special resolution to our membership around another new and exciting merger. And this one is between Atlantic Edge Credit Union, Eastern Edge, which has a branch presence in the Avalon area, and Hamilton Sound, which is in central Triton, Carmenville, and Gander. And what we'd like to do is to show you a quick video that really talks about the value proposition of this particular merger. So if you don't mind, we can probably watch the video.
A growing credit union is good for members, for employees, and for the communities where we live and work. It helps us do more for our members and ensure local community-based banking remains competitive, future-focused, and accessible to the communities we serve. So, when the boards of 3 Newfoundland and Labrador credit unions began to discuss how to sustain growth, create value for members, and keep pace in an increasingly competitive financial services environment, a merger just made sense. After all, working together for the good of our members is a pillar of the credit union system. We created a partnership committee to learn more. We asked a lot of questions to ensure a merger was right for each credit union, our members, employees, and communities. We discovered that we share similar goals and would all benefit from this merger. And we identified what we could achieve by working as one credit union. For employees, it means more opportunities for career growth and training. For members, it creates important savings that we can reinvest to enhance products and services. Members will still be served by staff they know and trust in all 15 branches, with better access to competitive rates and fees, specialized expertise, and digital banking services. For our communities, it means local community-based banking options remain a competitive and accessible choice for our members in the years to come. As a credit union member, this is your opportunity to vote, and we invite you to do just that. Visit bettervalueforall.ca to learn how you can participate.
And the next slide. So as you know, I can't summarize it any better than the video, which I thank our comms team for putting together some simplified version to talk about the value proposition of this new merger. Hopefully in my previous presentation, you were able to see how Atlantic Edge Credit Union has certainly embraced the previous merger and the value that has come from that. And as well as we feel exactly the same in this regard, that this merger will bring additional value propositions to all these particular stakeholders in different capacities, depending on which credit union you reference. We spent a lot of time uploading and putting information on our Better Value for All website. I'd encourage you to continue to review that and look at the material there to make sure that you are well educated on the subject matter when you do decide to cast your vote this week. But in saying that, there may be a few questions that you may have. So the next slide, we wanted to point out some key pieces of information. As indicated, we will be expanding our branch network if the merger approval vote is successful from 11 branch locations to 15. It allows us to have a presence in Central and the Avalon region. And interesting enough, some of the comments that come back from our member survey is it's been mostly youth related, finding it a little difficult when you're attending university or school, post-secondary school in the Avalon region without having a physical branch premises. And certainly I see that as an excellent option for the members of Atlantic Edge Credit Union moving forward, as well as that central presence. So, up into the Labrador and throughout the island portion of the province will certainly be well covered in that regard. Some additional questions you may be asking on the next slide would be, what about the name? Where do we fit? Do we have to see another name change? I'm pleased to say no. That the name will carry on as a Credit Union Atlantic Edge. A lot of work and effort went into devising that name, and we're very pleased that name will continue. As Dan referred to earlier, our board composition, we will start out with an inaugural board that will consist of 10 directors from all three partners, serving terms from 1 to 3 years. We'll have elections take place when their terms expire. The initial directors and other members who are interested in serving on the board will have the option to run for a new standard 3-year term. So by 2025, after a full year of operation, we will be going out to our membership with a opportunity to join the part of the board of directors team. Under our leadership team, Corey Munden, CEO of Atlantic Edge Credit Union, will carry on as the CEO for the new merged entity. Cynthia Strickland, which is the general manager of Eastern Edge Credit Union, and Dion Jackson, which is the CEO of Amundsen, they'll transition into leadership roles within the new organization. They're very excited to join this larger entity and fully supportive of the merger, and so is their membership, I should add. And administration and corporate staff will work right across the region as a decentralized corporate structure, as you heard me speak to earlier. It allows us obviously to tap into talent that would be in the Central and Avalon region as well. So the board recommendation after reviewing the business case, all three credit unions unanimously, I should add, determined that the merger would create a future state that has the potential to be better for all our members, build on each credit union's individual and combined strengths to maximize member offerings and benefits, respect the success and cultures that each credit union will bring to the new credit union, and preserve and build upon the goodwill of all community stakeholders involved. I should say that the other two credit unions are equally involved within their community and contribute effectively. So that will be a natural progression on adoption, and maybe again, we can do as this past merger took place, we can copy that and carry on and adopt the new initiatives that they are also involved in. It creates long-term value for existing and future members of all three partner credit unions. And so again, the three partner boards unanimously recommend this merger for approval by its members. You may have been following our social media channels. You've seen some testimonials that have come out from different board and staff representatives. Really and truly, these are unsolicited. These are our staff talking about the opportunities that they see with themselves within the merger. And I know the font is quite small and would be difficult to read. But I just want to zero in on like, somebody like Thijo, who was recognized earlier for his education contribution development. He's looking at, how can this merger enable him to advance his career and the good things that come with that. So, and somebody like Jackie, who was also recognized earlier, and, a long tenured employee and has been around for quite some time and sees the value proposition of how this merger will provide the strength and security that allows for the continuation of rural branch operations as a unified credit union. So I just wanted to make a couple of those key points because it's really important that our stakeholders, including our staff, really chime in and acknowledge how they feel about the merger. Next slide. And certainly if you've haven't been following our digital channels, but you're more of an in-branch individual, which we have a significant portion of our membership that are, hopefully you've caught some of the displays that are happening in the branches. Again, just putting it out there. As you can see, none of them are the same, but we gave them a few script words, and the branches themselves creatively came up with some ideas to decorate your branch in celebration and support of the merger. So wonderful displays that are taking place. If you haven't seen those, I encourage you to visit your branch and have a look at those. And that will be an opportunity as well for you to vote in the event that you don't have the technology at home to vote, because we're using a digital platform, as was outlined by Candace earlier in the presentation. So you'll have that opportunity to take part in that exercise at your branch, local branch, or using digital means at the convenience of your home. So Dan, I'm not sure if you need to repeat yourself or not, but here's a special resolution, and I'll turn it back to you and to see if there's any questions regarding a few brief slides I had on amalgamation. I kept it brief because, again, we're very cognizant of the amount of information we've been sharing with our members over the last number of months, and probably some of you may feel even too much information, but we deliberately wanted to ensure that all of our members were keenly aware of the value proposition of this merger. So we kept our social media channels, our website, and in-branch information up as much as we could. So if there's any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Thank you, Corey. No, I won't reread the special resolution unless there's a desire for me to do so. But and again, we had things a little bit out of place on the presentation, or the version I have here, but no big deal. I'll call for a mover and a seconder to approve the special resolution, or put the special resolution forward, sorry.
So moved by Barry Sims,
Thank you, Barry.
seconded by Edwina Bateman.
Thank you very much. And I'll open the floor for questions, discussions on the motion. And once we have that concluded, I'll get Candace to go over the voting process again, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Yeah. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none. Candace.
Wonderful. Oh, do you see further comings together? So that was from Harry Coates asking what the future looks like for future amalgamations past this one.
I would suspect, I'll weigh in, and Corey, you can weigh in after if you want. I would suspect that there will be further amalgamations in the coming years. You know, the business model of a small 50, 60, $70 million credit union, probably not sustainable long term, given the challenges around resourcing, regulation, cyber threats, all that, all those things. Again, my vision, or I guess my vision of where we're going to land 3, 4, 5 years from now, there will be additional amalgamations going forward. Whether or not we're involved in them, well, that remains to be seen, but we will see. Thank you, Harry, for that question.
Yeah, nothing new to add. Dan, good summary. We've seen a lot of evidence of mergers taking place in Atlantic Canada. We follow Atlantic Canada very closely. Merger activity has been very fast and rapid out west and central Canada, but for the Atlantic Canada, it's been a bit slow to catch on. There's still a large number of small credit unions, but we've seen in the last few years a lot of evidence and mergers springing up. But what we're also seeing is the scale and complexity of the mergers that are happening, such as 4 in PEI and 3 in New Brunswick. So we're not seeing, we're seeing less evidence of credit unions, just 2 credit unions coming together. We're seeing more of a bigger push to see more credit unions as a group come together.
Any additional questions, comments?
I don't see any other questions or comments coming in. So if you're ready, I can move forward with just reviewing the details of how to participate in the vote now that we've moved and seconded the special resolution. Of course, following our principles of as a financial cooperative, each member who was a paid shareholder in good standing gets 1 vote. Voting opens it's actually open right now, so we will be sharing the link in the chat for voting so that those of you who are on the line can participate in that voting right away. Voting, opens right now and closes at noon on Friday, May 19th. All member shareholders as of March 31st were in good standing, age 19 or older, are eligible to vote. Members can vote using the link that's been sent by email. You can also visit bettervalueforall.ca and click on voting details, and that will take you right to the e-vote e-ballot site. Thank you. Jessica has just posted the voting link in the chat for everyone on the line. We also have the availability of in-branch voting during the voting period, during branch hours. You can certainly visit the branch and use one of the tablets that is available there, and a staff member would certainly assist you if you would love to have more information, or if you need a little bit of help recalling your member number, which will be required to vote, in addition to your name, just your last name. If you are voting as a business member, you will require your member number, and simply in the password field enter the word business. Voting results will be announced by Tuesday, May 23rd, and perhaps sooner, depending on how fast we can get the voting information back from Hughes. And this is a really important one, that your vote supports the community. So we would love to have as many people as possible vote, not just because it's your democratic right and duty to vote on the future of your credit union, but also because for every vote cast, regardless of whether it's positive or negative, we will be donating $1 to Kids Eat Smart Foundation of Newfoundland and Labrador. So, if you say, oh, I don't need to bother with that, I agree with it, and I think it's all going to go through, or if you're the other way, regardless of that, your vote would definitely count towards maximizing that donation to the Kids Eat Smart Foundation. So please do exercise your right to vote, ask questions at our branches, or reach out to us by email if you have any questions about voting, or if you require more information. Again, bettervalueforall.ca is a excellent source of information and even includes detailed financials and business plan that was put together in the past year. So if there are no more questions, I just noticed here that Gary O'Brien, sorry, Gary, said we need to reach out to family and friends and encourage their vote. Absolutely, that would be great. And Jamie Pye said, just cast my vote. What a great opportunity and privilege to have a cooperative system. Great to see an emphasis on the importance of building a strong team to build our credit union into the future. Great work, everyone. Thank you very much, Jamie, for those kind words and very encouraging words as we all work towards building the future of our credit union. So at this time, if there are no other discussion, we do have a couple of great prize draws, kind of like a virtual door prize for the attendees who've joined us here tonight. And Jessica's been working furiously behind the scenes to put together that list for quorum, and now she gets to use it for the fun thing of letting 2 people go home with some prizes. So just a quick note on the prizes. They include a little wireless Bluetooth speaker those were donated by the Credit Union Deposit Guarantee Corporation. So thanks so much to Al and team for donating those to us, and someone will be happy to receive them. And we also have some swag there from Atlantic Edge Credit Union, including a Rocket book, which is a reusable, erasable ink book, which is really great. Some t-shirts, some coffee and chocolate from oh my goodness gracious, Corey, how do I forget the name of the cooperative? Just for Us Coffee.
Just us.
Just Us Coffee. So sorry, and a wonderful travel mug to put some of that coffee in. So for no further ado, I will ask Jessica to inform us of our 2 winners.
Thank you, Candace. So the 2 names that have been drawn are Todd Rumbold and Daniel Simmons. So congratulations to you both, and we will reach out to you to discuss distribution of your prize shortly. So stay tuned. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jessica, and congratulations, Todd and Daniel. So I will pass it over to you, Dan, to end things off for this evening. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Candace. I guess a couple of comments. Thank you, Corey, Candace, Jessica, Kirsty, and all those folks in the back behind the scenes who made this night possible. We had a few hiccups, but nothing major, and a lot of great work, a lot of time and effort gone into this. So again, thank you guys very, very much for that. And I'd also like to thank everyone again for attending this evening. We've had a very, very successful 2022, and it's my pleasure to be able to just go back and recount some of those successes. So having concluded our business agenda for this evening, I declare the meeting adjourned. Have a good night, everyone, and stay safe and get out and vote, please.
Thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you.